everyone, back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video where we're talking about players linked to Newcastle United over the summer transfer window. The season's barely done and we've been linked to so many players. It looks like Newcastle United are going to be making some quick moves in the transfer market, hopefully. And we're going to be signing some real quality players as well, which is exactly what we're going to talk about right now. And it's a defender of all positions. We all know defence is an area that we're going to strengthen despite having the best defence in the Premier League. We obviously want to improve that. We want to bring in new players. And this lad we're going to talk about in a minute is definitely an improvement, I think, in what we have in the current squad. We're going to get stuck right into this in a minute. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We'd love you to come and join us. We're over 3,770 subs, I think, now. So loads of room for you. Smash the button. We've got loads of content over the close season, all transfer rumours, a little bit of rants here and there as well about some stuff going on in football as well. So smash the button, come and join us, and you won't regret it. It'll keep you going until the season starts again. So let's get stuck in then. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about a centre-half. Now, it's no secret. All of the media are talking about this. All of the journalists are talking about it. All of the usual kind of journalists that you would look at and you would trust, like your Craig Hopes, your George Calkins, your Luke Edwards, Keith Downies. They're all saying the same thing, that Newcastle United are looking for another right-footed centre-half. Now, Fabian Schär has done brilliantly well. He's an unbelievable defender. Him and Botman have got a great partnership going, but he's not getting any younger. So we are on the lookout for a younger right-footed centre-half, and we're looking for somebody, I think, with a bit of quality, maybe a little bit of Champions League experience as well. And who better than this lad I'm about to talk about right now? It's this fella right here, who is Kim Min-jae, or Kim as he's kind of loosely known when the press are reporting about him. But his nickname is the Monster. How about that? The fucking Monster. Yes, indeed, we'll have a bit of him going on the transfer market. So the story goes at the moment that Manchester United are still apparently favourites, as Manchester United always seem to be, or always think they are, for this player's signature. But it looks like Newcastle United are going to potentially hijack the deal. Now, Kim has a £42 million release clause in his contract. He's just won the title with Napoli. He's a fantastic defender. You know, he's quick, he's strong. He's brilliant in the air, which we're going to have a look at his stats in a minute. He reads the game superbly well. And I think the most important thing is, or the most two important things, as far as Newcastle United are concerned, is A, he's right-footed, and B, he's 26 years old versus Fabian Schär's 31. So he could very well be that long-term partner for Sven Botman in the back lineup of Newcastle United, and what a player he would be to sign as well. But let's just look at some of the individual comparisons between the two players there. So 45 appearances for Kim and 41 appearances for Fabian Schär. So kind of nice fitness records there. Even though Fabian Schär goes down with loads of head injuries, he has played a lot of football this season. And obviously Kim has played a superb part, a key role in that Napoli title win as well in Serie A. 2 goals for Kim, only 1 for Fabian Schär. An absolute belter, by the way, but still 1 goal. 3 assists for Schär because his passing is brilliant, but 2 assists as well for Kim. He's brilliant with the ball at his feet. He's excellent delivery, which we'll have a look at in a bit more detail in a second, because Marcus had the stats computer firing up and looking at this individually. But look at the differences in terms of defending. So tackles per game, Kim is tackling more than Fabian Schär per 90 minutes. He's got 1.57 tackles versus Schär's 1.32. Interceptions, he's slightly ahead at 1.48 versus Schär's 1.46. Blocks, he's slightly ahead at 1.06 versus Schär's 0.95. Clearances, Schär has more clearances than Kim, and this one is 3.9 versus his 3.64. But look at the aerials one. Schär is 3.4 and Kim is slightly behind at 2.89. This lad stands at 6'3" and he's brilliant in the air as well. So it's not a massive drop off there in quality. Mark's true tackling guide there, 51% with Schär, 50 on Kim. Passes, 75% accuracy for Kim and only 51 for Schär, but 90% pass completion on Kim's side of it and 77 for Schär. So you can see the key area there in terms of his distribution. And obviously progressive passing, 4.81 for Kim versus Schär's 3.90. Fouls, Kim's slightly ahead of Schär in that regard, and recoveries, they're kind of round about the same. So diving into the individual stats per 90 minutes in terms of the greens, the yellows and the reds that we always do with the stat guide. So you can see there in terms of how Kim compares to centre-halves in his position across the top 5 European leagues. His tackling looks a little bit down, but I wouldn't be too thrown off by that. In terms of this player, rather than just a routine kind of slide tackle, he's a lot more of an interception centre-half. If you go look at his highlight reel, he seems to position himself really well, where the strikers or the attackers making that run and he just nicks the ball off of them with pace and with a kind of accurate touch and accurate interception, which means he doesn't have to do what you would call a kind of routine classic tackle. So he's very much a thinking man centre half in terms of he positions himself in the right place at the right time. So his tackling does look a little bit down there, but don't be thrown off by that. Likewise, the blocks as well. You go into the middle section there, the passes, the pass completion's up at 90, the passes is up at 90, the long pass completed is in the 70s, medium passes are in the 90s, key passing's good there, progressive passing's right high as well, progressive carries as well is up in the 88th percentile there. His switches, his aerials one is absolutely phenomenal. He barely loses a header, and his touches is brilliant. Some of the touches I've seen this kid do, back heels at the back, Colaccini style, which used to give me heart attacks when Colaccini did it. But this kid would be an unbelievable signing for Newcastle United. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And it'd be really interesting to see if we're able to beat Manchester United out for this player. Apparently, Eric Ten Hag is really interested in this player. But as the story goes, his representatives did talk to Newcastle United in one of our last home games of the season. So that shows you that we are definitely identifying targets early and definitely making contact with their representatives. So 42 million quid is a snip for this player, for the quality that he is. He played a massive part in South Korea's run to the semi-finals in the World Cup as well. He was brilliant for them in that competition as well, against some of the best players in the world, Portugal's and Spain's that they played against as well, Germany as well. He was brilliant in those games against some real top players, and obviously he's playing against top players in Serie A as well, and he's doing brilliant week in, week out. So yeah, I think he'd be a phenomenal signing for Newcastle United in the Premier League. I think he would be a really good addition to put competition on Fabian Schär for that right-sided berth next to Sven Botman. In the back of that back four, the key element in that back four. So let us know you guys think in the comments below whether you think Kim would be a good signing or not. If you don't, drop a comment either way, whether we agree or disagree. We always try and engage with you in the comments. As I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We'd love you to come and join us. We've got loads of room for you and ever more. Like this video as well. Help get it around YouTube. Click subscribe. Help try and get us to 4K just before the season starts. I'd love that to happen. It'd be absolutely great to start the season at 4K. So smash that button. We're going to be back with loads of rumour has it and stats and chats soon enough. So keep tuned to the channel, guys. And until then, we'll catch you later. Cheers now. Bye.